So a few years back, somewhere that I worked, I was talking to a colleague, and he told me something that's really stuck with me about taking criticism, and I've dubbed it Lowe's Law of Criticism. His name is Dr. Lowe, and it was actually delivered more in the context of criticism that an author might receive on a scientific paper, but I think that it applies broadly and specifically applies to artistic criticism. Now, I have never been particularly good at receiving artistic criticism, but I do think that this Lowe's Law of Criticism is kind of a helpful guide to how to better synthesize artistic criticism or criticism of any sort. And it kind of goes like this. So he says that critics will deliver, a piece of criticism wholly formed, and oftentimes we will sort of naturally get defensive and reject the criticism on the basis of some specific thing that it claims or rests upon that we take issue with. And he says that actually the first thing to do is, to take the whole thing in without objection, and to let it sit, and then to dissect it as follows. He says you should recognize that critics are actually pretty good at identifying that there is a problem. They're a little less good at identifying where the problem is, but still pretty good. Less good about identifying what the problem is, and even less at identifying how to fix it. Now, criticism will actually be delivered kind of in the opposite order. So oftentimes you'll get a critique that says, you should do this to fix this thing here that makes it kind of this way. So, as a corollary, I have found that I do write criticism that way, and it's just begging to be dismissed. And so I do try consciously, wherever possible, to actually phrase my critiques as, I kind of feel like there's something going on of this nature that makes me feel this way about it. It kind of feels like it's in the verse, for instance, and I think that it's this stanza, and maybe one thing you could consider is to do this. And I find that you can deliver the same message, but in a more palatable way. Anyway, that's Lowe's Law of Criticism, and I hope that you find that as helpful as I've found it, and that it helps you to make better sense of how to act on critiques that you may receive as an artist. All right, take it easy. Hope that was helpful.